Phillip Schofield, Holly Willoughby, Nick Ferrari and Sonia Sodha discussed the latest headlines, and Prince Harry's recent podcast comments came up. He claimed the cultural difference between the UK and the US were immense when it comes to openly talking about therapy, and accused Brits of dismissing the conversation. As the guests and presenters analysed the remarks, Sonia pointed out Harry didn't address the extortionate cost of therapy in America and how difficult it can be in the UK to be able to start seeing a therapist. In Reid Hoffman's Master of Scale podcast, Prince Harry stated, "You talk about it here in California, I'll get my therapist to call your therapist. Whereas in the UK it's like, therapist? What therapist? Whose therapist? I don't have a therapist. No, I definitely don't. I've never spoken to a therapist." Talking about Harry's remarks, Holly argued, "There's this idea that it's sort of therapy is seen as a weakness over here." She continued by asking, "I mean, does he have a point with this?" "I think he does have a point," Sonia started. "In the sense that there is a more open culture in some parts. I would say, not all parts of America. But I think a bigger problem we've got here in the UK actually is the lack of investment in mental health services. So if you're having issues, if you're suffering from anxiety, the waiting lists for talking therapies are just insane. You could be waiting months and months, some people even years." Delving into Harry's comparison, she added, "And I think one of the things that Prince Harry sometimes doesn't acknowledge, and I think he hasn't acknowledged here, is actually therapy is very, very expensive, particularly in the US. So there are some people who can access therapy in the US very easily, but there are some parts in the US with very high levels of poverty and people going through really difficult mental health issues with have no access to it." Nick pointed out Harry and Prince William made a hugely positive difference in encouraging the country to open up about their experiences with mental health. Meanwhile, others watching from home also gave their view on the subject. Twitter user @jbaker94 wrote, "There is still a stigma surrounding mental health. No one answers honestly to how are you if they are suffering with mental health problems. #ThisMorning." Miss Lionheart shared, "Of course there are some people who can access a therapist easily. And they are called A-list celebrities #ThisMorning. Sick of hearing about Prince Harry so much for being private #ThisMorning, @Queen_Vix88 posted."